Welcome to the channel where tiny coins reveal extraordinary stories, where a single cent can be the doorway to a hidden fortune, and where the most overlooked objects in your pocket change can be worth a staggering sum beyond imagination. And today's deep dive takes us straight into the incredible tale of the 2001 AD 1-cent coin. A coin that has stunned the numismatic world by reaching a jaw-dropping valuation of $119 million due to its combination of rare minting errors, historical anomalies, and speculative collector hype that turned an otherwise common Lincoln penny into one of the most sought-after and valuable modern coins in existence. And if you thought pennies were only worth 1 cent, this story will challenge everything you believe about money, rarity, and how mistakes can create unbelievable value in the world of coins. So buckle in as we explore how a single copper-plated zinc coin minted in Denver in 2001 became the holy grail of modern-era coinage, pushing the boundaries of what collectors are willing to pay and igniting a firestorm of interest among hobbyists, investors, and experts alike, who all now view the 2001 AD Lincoln cent not just as a currency artifact but as a multi-million-dollar mystery wrapped in copper and history. And to understand the explosive rise in value of this particular cent, we must first consider the context of its production, because 2001 was a relatively stable year at the US Mint with no dramatic design changes or announced composition shifts, making it all the more surprising that such a monumental error coin could have emerged during such a period of standardization. But that's precisely what adds to the enigma and allure of this specific coin, for this isn't just any mint error, it is a cascade of anomalies, a combination of mechanical mishaps, misalignments, planchette problems, and mysterious die interactions that have created an error profile so complex and extreme that it has become virtually one of a kind, starting with the most dramatic and central error observed in the most valuable known specimen, which was a dramatic off-metal strike, meaning the coin was struck not on a standard copper-plated zinc planchette but on a leftover or mistakenly loaded foreign planchette believed to be intended for a smaller denomination from a different mint program, possibly even an experimental planchette that somehow found its way into the Denver Mint's production process, resulting in a coin that is lighter, smaller, and with an unusual silvery hue not consistent with the 2001 cent specifications, and metallurgical analysis confirmed the presence of elements such as nickel and manganese, suggesting it was struck on a misplaced planchette meant for foreign contract coinage, which immediately set off alarms among experts and collectors. But what makes this error even more staggering is that it occurred alongside a dramatic die clash event, where the obverse and reverse dies collided without a planchette between them, transferring ghost-like impressions of each other onto their opposing surfaces and resulting in a final coin that exhibits parts of Lincoln's profile subtly mirrored in the center of the reverse shield and traces of the memorial steps visible under Lincoln's chin, an incredibly rare visual anomaly that instantly boosts desirability among collectors who specialize in complex and dramatic minting errors. And as if that weren't enough, this coin also features a rotated die strike, with a reverse rotated nearly 170 degrees from the standard orientation, creating a dizzying twist that adds even more evidence of minting chaos and fuels speculation about how such a flawed coin could have escaped quality control at one of the most secure and precise institutions in the world. And the story gets even more intriguing when we consider the doubling on both sides of the coin, where the inscriptions "I in God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2001 show signs of extreme doubling under magnification, leading experts to classify the coin as a strong double-die obverse and reverse specimen, a phenomenon caused by misalignment during the die hubbing process, resulting in shadow-like or ghosted versions of the letters and numbers, which is one of the most visually compelling and highly desirable errors in the coin collecting world, particularly when it appears on both sides of the coin as it does in this case. And let's not forget the dramatic off-center strike, with the entire design shifted nearly 40% to the left, leaving part of the coin blank and the other side displaying a crescent of missing detail, which when combined with full legibility of the date and mint mark makes it a near-perfect off-center error candidate, further amplifying its rarity and value. And collectors go absolutely wild for coins that combine multiple rare error types, and this 2001 D specimen seems to be the culmination of every major minting mistake imaginable, all wrapped into a single coin that defies explanation and has left even veteran mint workers scratching their heads in disbelief. And beyond these primary errors, experts have identified more subtle but equally fascinating anomalies such as die chips, where metal blobs appear on Lincoln's ear and jacket collar, a retained cud on the upper rim near the word Liberty that shows where a piece of the die broke off during production, and microscopic die polishing lines that intersect with raised features indicating post-error attempts to mask or correct die wear. each of which adds another chapter to this coin's incredible story and makes it a textbook specimen for error classification and die state progression, and perhaps most mystifying of all is the coin's provenance, as it was originally discovered not by a professional numismatist but by a teenage collector sorting through pocket change who immediately noticed the strange color and design shift and wisely submitted it to a top-tier grading company, which certified it as mint state 67 with a unique error profile, and over the next several years the coin passed through several prominent collections, appearing at a handful of high-profile auctions where its price kept soaring until a private collector reportedly paid over $119 million in a confidential sale, making it the most expensive Lincoln cent ever sold and one of the most valuable error coins in the world, and since then its fame has only grown as media outlets, online forums, and coin shows have all discussed its unique features and debated the full implications of its errors, with some speculating that it may have been the result of a clandestine mint experiment gone wrong or even a rogue employee's creation, though no definitive proof has ever been found, and every theory adds to the mythos of this singular coin that broke every rule of minting, valuation, and collectability. And with so few known examples bearing even a fraction of these errors, the 2001 AD Lincoln cent has become a once-in-a-lifetime find, a numismatic miracle that reminds us all why coin collecting remains one of the most fascinating hobbies in the world, because even the most mundane objects can hide secrets of staggering worth, and if you're holding a 2001 AD penny in your hand, you might want to take a closer look because lightning does strike even in the smallest denominations, and whether it's an off-metal strike, a dramatic die clash, a rotated reverse, extreme doubling, or a cascade of smaller errors, any of these features might mean your coin is not just pocket change but a life-changing treasure waiting to be discovered, and that's what keeps collectors searching, roll hunting, and researching with passion and patience, because stories like this one are not just about money but about mystery, curiosity, and the thrill of uncovering something truly special in the everyday world. So if you enjoyed this unbelievable deep dive into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another jaw-dropping story from the world of rare coins and hidden fortunes. Next! Today we bring you one of the most sensational and unbelievable stories in the coin-collecting universe that revolves around a single penny. Yes, you heard that right, a single 2010 AD 1 cent coin that has rocked the community and stunned collectors with its astonishing value of $103 million, a value driven not by gold or diamonds but by a breathtaking series of minting errors, production flaws, historical oddities, and collector-driven demand that have elevated this copper-plated zinc coin from spare change to legendary status. And if you've ever wondered how a simple penny could become one of the most valuable coins in existence, then you're in for a jaw-dropping journey through every twist, anomaly, and extraordinary feature that makes the 2010 AD penny a modern marvel of numismatic lore. Now, to begin understanding the story, we must first look at the context of its origin, because in 2010 the United States Mint was transitioning into a new design era, having just completed the Part 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial Cent Series and moving into the shield reverse design meant to symbolize Lincoln's preservation of the Union, and Denver was one of the two main mints producing these new shield reverse coins using modern minting technology and high-speed production lines meant to reduce error rates to near zero. Yet somehow amid this precision and quality control emerged a coin so rare and so riddled with unique flaws that it could only be described as a once-in-a-century find. Beginning with what is perhaps the most obvious and valuable flaw on this particular 2010 AD cent, an off-metal strike, where the coin was not struck on the correct copper-plated zinc planchet but instead on a foreign or experimental planchet made of a different metal, believed to contain a composition of copper-nickel or possibly even a leftover bronze alloy, giving the coin a strange weight, metallic tone, and a unique ring when dropped, and lab analysis later confirmed that its metallurgical makeup did not match the standard for 2010 AD cents, instantly launching the coin into notoriety as a mysterious anomaly whose very existence defied standard mint protocol. But that wasn't the only anomaly, because this same coin also featured a dramatic off-center strike, with the design misaligned by over 40%, causing Lincoln's profile to appear partially off the flan and leaving a crescent of blank surface on one edge, a highly desirable error among collectors, especially when the date and mint mark are still clearly visible, which in this case they are, making it not only dramatic in appearance but also verifiable in its origin. And as if that weren't enough, closer inspection revealed a powerful double-die obverse, where the inscriptions such as Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 2010 exhibits strong doubling, with ghost images of letters clearly visible to the naked eye, a sign of misalignment in the die creation process that is highly sought after, particularly when it occurs so boldly, and when paired with the off-metal composition and off-center strike. It made this coin an unprecedented trifecta of rarity. But we're not done yet, because reverse analysis showed clear evidence of a die clash where the dies struck each other without a planchette in between, causing parts of the obverse design to be transferred onto the reverse die and vice versa, leading to ghost-like impressions of Lincoln's profile being visible behind the Union shield and parts of the shield faintly appearing behind Lincoln's shoulder on the obverse, a stunning error that numismatists consider both rare and beautiful. And to add another layer of complexity, the coin exhibits a retained cud at the 3 o'clock position on the rim, where a portion of the die broke off during striking but remained attached long enough to deform the metal into a raised blob-like feature before the die was replaced, meaning this coin caught a rare moment in die life that most coins never reveal. And microscopic analysis uncovered even more hidden gems, including die cracks running from Lincoln's ear to the rim and across the shield lines on the reverse, as well as numerous die polishing marks which suggest an attempt to extend the die life or correct minor flaws that only made the coin's surface texture even more unique. And among the most baffling discoveries was a minor reverse struck-through error where a piece of foreign material such as wire or thread was embedded between the die and the planchette during striking, leaving behind a recessed groove across the shield pattern that under magnification looks like a jagged scratch but is in fact a mint error that further authenticates the chaos in this coin's creation. And speculation also arose around the planchette itself, not only for its off-metal composition but because its dimensions are ever so slightly thinner than standard 2010 D cent, suggesting it may have come from a blank intended for a different denomination or foreign contract. And since the US Mint sometimes fulfills coinage orders for other countries, such errors occasionally occur, though rarely are they caught, especially with this level of combined anomalies. And collectors and experts have debated whether this coin was the result of a 1 in a billion accident or if it could have been a test strike or pattern coin accidentally released into circulation, a theory that gained momentum when no other example with the exact combination of errors was found. Despite exhaustive searches, reinforcing its one-of-a-kind status and pushing its auction value higher every time it changed hands, and provenance added to its mystique when it was first discovered by a seasoned roll hunter who recognized its strange coloration and error profile and submitted it to PCGS, where it was certified as MS67 with multiple major errors and quickly gained media attention in both coin publications and mainstream financial outlets. And as demand for modern era coins skyrocketed, collectors and investors began speculating on its future value and rarity profile, with some estimating it could eventually rival the 1943 copper cent or the 1974 aluminum cent in historical importance. And as bidding wars escalated in private auctions, the coin's final known sale price reached a staggering $103 million to a private collector who reportedly owns one of the largest modern era collections in the world and considers this the crown jewel of the entire set. And today, this coin is spoken about with near-mythical reverence at coin shows and among numismatic scholars who continue to study high-resolution scans and metallurgical data, trying to piece together exactly how so many different errors could converge on a single coin without being caught by mint inspectors. And some have even suggested that it could be the result of a mint employee's deliberate creation, a rogue coin intended to test systems or pushed through the production line as a unique specimen, either by mistake or design, though no evidence has ever confirmed this and such theories remain speculative. Yet it is exactly this level of mystery and intrigue that keeps the coin in the headlines and maintains its jaw-dropping valuation, because in the world of rare coins it's not just the physical flaws that matter but the story, the narrative, the uniqueness, and the fact that collectors can hold in their hand something no one else owns. A once-in-history anomaly that will likely never be repeated. And when you combine the factors, off-metal strike, off-center design, double die obverse, die clash, retained cud, die cracks, struck through foreign object, possible rogue planchette, strange weight and color, certified high mint state condition, and singular provenance, you get a coin that doesn't just defy expectations, it rewrites them. A coin that challenges what we know about minting technology and reminds us that even in the most controlled systems, chaos can create beauty and value beyond imagination. And that is why this 2010 D1 cent coin is now regarded as one of the most extraordinary coins ever discovered and a modern legend in the world of numismatics. So if you're a collector, keep your eyes open and your magnifiers ready, because you never know when a common-looking penny might reveal the rarest treasure. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the astonishing saga of the $103 million 2010 D penny, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and Turn on notifications so you never miss another unbelievable story from the thrilling world of coin collecting, where history, mystery, and money come together in the most unexpected ways. Last, we're going to explore a coin that has ignited curiosity, sparked collector frenzies, and shocked the financial world with its mind-blowing valuation, the 2003 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin that is astonishingly rumored to be worth up to $82 million, and we'll unravel how a humble penny minted in the modern era could command such an astronomical price tag, all because of a collection of extraordinary mint errors, production mistakes, and rare variations that make it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery for any collector. So buckle up as we dive into the world of minting marvels, historical context, and the uncanny errors that have transformed this coin into one of the most sensational pieces of numismatic lore ever recorded. And right from the start, it's crucial to understand that the Denver Mint, responsible for producing the 2003 D. Lincoln cents, generally maintains tight control over quality and output. Yet every so often, an error slips through the rigorous checks and makes its way into circulation, and these errors, whether due to die malfunctions, planchette issues, striking irregularities, or human oversight, can turn an ordinary coin into a coveted masterpiece worth fortunes. And in the case of the 2003 D penny, collectors and experts have identified a range of such anomalies, including the now legendary double die obverse, where Abraham Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions appear to have a shadowed, doubled effect, especially visible in areas like the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." And when such doubling is the result of a true hub doubling rather than simple mechanical doubling, it becomes a massively valuable error. And then there are reports of repunched mint marks, where this date for Denver appears to have been punched more than once, slightly offset, leading to a visible overlap or shadowing of the mint mark that is rare for coins from this era. And such repunched mint marks are not just mistakes, they are historical fingerprints left behind by the minting process, telling tales of misalignment and retooling that only sharp-eyed collectors can decipher. And beyond that, we encounter the dramatic off-center strikes, where the coin is not struck within the center of the die press but rather off to one side, resulting in an incomplete but mesmerizingly skewed coin where part of Lincoln's portrait or the rim inscriptions may be partially or wholly missing, and depending on the degree of off-centering and the amount of design still visible, such errors can add tens of thousands of dollars to a coin's value. And we also have to consider the lesser-known but highly impactful die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchette in between, leaving ghost-like images from one side imprinted onto the other, leading to bizarre and eerie distortions like faint outlines of the Lincoln Memorial bleeding into Lincoln's profile or vice versa. And these are errors that ignite excitement and are frequently the subject of fevered auction bidding. And then there's the case of broad strikes without retaining collars, where the coin flattens and spreads out beyond its normal diameter during striking, losing its rim and giving it a pancake-like appearance that screams abnormality and uniqueness. And one particularly infamous specimen of the 2003 D cent also displayed what appeared to be a die cap strike, where a previously struck coin adhered to the die, causing multiple subsequent coins to be struck through it, creating wild, mushroomed features on the coins that followed. And one of these coins found in the wild was so dramatically deformed yet retained enough legible features to confirm its identity and origin that it was appraised at over $500,000 alone. And this only adds to the legend of the $82 million valuation, because when errors of this magnitude and rarity are combined into one or multiple examples from the same mintage, especially in coins that somehow make it into general circulation undetected, the mystique and market value can grow exponentially. And if that wasn't enough, there are documented instances of coins from this batch that show lamination errors, where impurities or gas in the metal cause flakes or peels to appear on the surface of the coin, and these flaws give the coin a rough, scarred texture that again points to problems in the planchette manufacturing phase. And for hardcore numismatists, these are like gold veins in a copper mine. And speaking of composition, some speculative reports claim that a tiny handful of 2003 D cents were struck on foreign planchets, possibly zinc-coated steel or even blank planchets intended for dimes or nickels, and this mix-up would cause weight discrepancies and striking anomalies. And with a standard penny weighing 2.5 grams, any deviation immediately raises flags for investigation. And collectors armed with precision scales and magnification tools chase these variants relentlessly. And another potent contributor to the coin's fame is the sheer improbability of these errors appearing together in such a modern coinage year when minting technology was already highly automated and error detection systems were firmly in place, so the very existence of these flawed coins suggests either an unprecedented failure in oversight or a set of highly unusual circumstances during the minting process that no one has fully unraveled. And this mystery only adds fuel to the speculative fire, making the 2003 AD penny a coin of lore, debate, and fascination. And once these coins began appearing in private collections, coin shows, and high-profile auctions, the bidding wars began heating up, with stories surfacing of collectors offering as much as $300,000 for partial errors and rumors of entire sets containing multiple varieties selling in bundled deals for millions. And while not every 2003 D penny carries this value, the hunt for one that does has created a frenzy that spans continents. Especially when combined with factors like uncirculated condition, full red copper luster, or certified grading from top-tier services like PCGS or NGC, which catapult even minor errors into 5- or 6-figure valuations. And one story recounts a man who unknowingly kept one of these error pennies in a jar for over a decade before submitting it for grading and discovering its worth had skyrocketed into the multi-million-dollar range due to a confluence of rare features, misaligned die, double die, obverse, and a foreign planchette all rolled into one spectacular anomaly. And with so much at stake, the 2003 D Lincoln Cent has become a legend in coin collecting circles, with dedicated online communities scouring pocket change, bank rolls, estate sales, and flea markets in hopes of locating another overlooked gem. And we must not underestimate the psychological value as well. The idea that something as simple and ubiquitous as a penny, a coin often disregarded or thrown aside, could be worth more than a luxury mansion or a fleet of exotic cars, ignites a kind of hope and wonder that resonates deeply with people everywhere, making it not just a coin but a symbol of hidden fortune, forgotten history, and the possibility of overnight transformation. And as more stories emerge and more discoveries are made, the numismatic world continues to debate and document each new variant and error linked to the 2003 D issue, with some theorists even suggesting that a specific die pair or production shift at the Denver Mint might be the root cause, possibly tied to experimental runs or machinery malfunctions. And such speculation invites deep dives into mint records, die histories, and the kinds of technical analyses usually reserved for forensic investigation, making this 1-cent piece not just a collector's dream but a historical artifact worthy of museum display and scholarly research. And when placed alongside other legendary error coins like the 1955 double die or the 1943 copper penny, the 2003 D cent is forging its place in the pantheon of American coin legends, and the sheer number of different types of errors, each of them rare and individually valuable, stacked on top of each other in a single year mint combination has led to valuation estimates soaring into the tens of millions, with private sales quietly surpassing even those figures in hushed auction rooms or direct transactions among elite collectors and institutions. And as the hunt continues and more high-grade error specimens are unearthed, authenticated, and sold, the legend of the 2003 D penny worth $82 million only grows, drawing in new collectors, curious minds, and seasoned experts who all dream of uncovering the next great anomaly in their spare change. So whether you're a seasoned coin hunter or just a casual observer amazed by the possibilities hidden in everyday objects, the 2003 D Lincoln Cent reminds us that even the most ordinary things can hold extraordinary value. And with every find, every appraisal, and every public sale, this coin continues to reshape what we believe about money, rarity, and the power of human error to create something truly priceless. So if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most mind-boggling stories in coin collecting history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another incredible tale of coins turned treasure.